Hi, everybody. I'm gonna go through a couple things that I want us to discuss as you plan to migrate to any one of those countries on the international marketplace. I realize that it's important as we go ahead, I go through some of the basic things so that we can talk and discuss them. As I said, ATLE, our goal is to walk you through the process so you don't have that to say, I wish somebody told me. We are here to tell you and we are here to help you. So I will do three things today, like extensively. And I want us to go and really, in the group, talk about these things so that we are aware of what is required or just some of the things that are key as you make your decision to get a job on the international marketplace. Is working on the international marketplace for you or not? Things to consider. Number one, following instructions. I know I'm sending you through a rough time reading and reading and reading and discussing, and I'm sure some of you are like, oh my God, why can't Miss Judy just really hook me up and get everything ready so I just move tomorrow? Because those are the questions I get all the time. And when you look at America, you look at Canada, some of the countries in Europe, the deals is not going to work for you very well. It's important that you also play a part in your responsibility. When they say they're looking for skilled workers, they mean it. They're anticipating that you guys have the basic certificates to be able to migrate and do those jobs. So, one of the things that I say, please read. Did you read? Did you understand? The reason is I just want to make sure we prepare you so that if they call you for an interview, you are able to articulate what your skills are well, or you are able to answer the questions well. So you want to read what is the intention of the job, what are they doing, and make sure you answer quoting your skills or your experience so that you can be extremely competitive on the international marketplace. So in terms of getting deals, like the Gulf deals, this may not really work for you coming on the other side. It doesn't work that way. There's certain responsibilities they put on you that you must. Like, for example, they'll say you need to pass an NCLEX exam. There is no way an agent can sit for an NCLEX for you, or you do your IELTS. There is no way an agent, even if you paid them $1 million, will be able to sit for those exams for you. So it's important that you really sit down and really put in effort so that you're extremely successful. And if you're looking for deals, maybe you may want to concentrate more on the Gulf and not this other side of the world. But as I went through, the beauty of really looking for jobs over here is that stability for continuous and being able to be with your family and really making good money. So think about that and let's talk about that more. Number two, language. Of course, it's important that you are able to articulate, like America, they talk English is the main language. In Canada, you have French and English. So if you're fluent in French and English, you'll be able to succeed in Canada. America, French, not too much. The only other language that is upcoming, but still you need to be able to understand English, is Spanish. So if you speak a little Spanish, it will help you. But in the offices, most people really communicate through English. So if they say they want proof that you understand English, even though a lot of Africa speaks English, there's no need to fight and argue over those. One of the things they want to really know and prove that you do is by you taking the test so that they have evidence that yes and yes and yes, you can understand and speak English or French or or whatever language that is, depending on where you're going. So if you have to take those exams, there's no shortcut. Register for them. A lot of British Council does offer a lot of those. And make sure you read the instructions well to make sure if it's IELTS, you're taking the proper IELTS. Because if it's academic, it's different from IELTS for jobs because they're testing for two different things. So make sure you read and you're able to do what you need to do. Number three, if you are a skilled laborer, we definitely, and you've heard people say, oh, your education in Africa doesn't matter. And I'm saying, no, it does matter. All you need to do is get your transcripts credentialed so they are translated into like a GPS system in America or a Canadian system so that when the employer looks at your certificates, they are able to understand that you have acquired the same level of education. So depending on the country you're going, you want to go through their website and you want to pull the approved agencies that can credential you. So just don't send it to anybody unless they say you can do it with anybody. Read, follow instructions so you can get your credentials done with approved agencies. Like Canada has a list on their website, which I have given you guys have given you the list. So you want to make sure you really follow that to the T. The fourth thing that I'm going to talk about today, assimilation. What do I mean by assimilating? Their cultures really differ. There are certain things that may be acceptable in Africa that you'll find that are not going to be acceptable here in America or Canada, for instance. One of the things I know, if you drink a lot, if every day you wake up and all you do go to the bar and get drunk and get disorderly and drive your car while drinking, that may work for you in Africa, but it's not going to work for you in these countries. If the police catch you driving while drunk, they will either take you to jail and also revoke your driver's license. And as soon as they do that, your fingerprints are not going to pass for any job because it's going to show that you have DUI issues, you have a drinking issue. And if you're lucky, they may ask that you go through Alcohol Anonymous classes to rectify and stop drinking. So if you know that you cannot stop drinking, and if you know that that is something you really enjoy, maybe staying in your home country is the best option. But if you're going to migrate, you want to really watch. And also doing drugs is included. If they find you doing illegal drugs like methamphetamines, cocaine, and all that, you will go to jail for those. And that in itself will lead into deportation to your home country. So there's no need to spend all this money if you know those are things that you enjoy to do. You would rather really remain in your home country and not proceed to spend all this money trying to migrate just to arrive and find that your habits are not going to be compatible with the countries in the US or Canada or Europe or whatever that is. So you want to take that into consideration. In Africa, some of the men, and I may be biased, some of the men really beat up their wives, and that works for them in Africa because the police do nothing about it. Now, I'll give you an example. If you're a wife beater or you beat up your wife and you come to America, this may not work out for you well. Canada, the same. The police are going to be involved, and at that time, you're not going to even have the opportunity to intimidate your wife into agreeing that you are not beaten, because if she has any marks on her face, on her body, anywhere, they are going to prosecute you. And the way they have tried to get away with that, because a lot of the women will be intimidated and afraid, and they will say, oh no, he didn't really beat me up, I fell. So the state, for example, I live in the state of California. The state of California is going to prosecute you on behalf. They will not say Judy versus the husband. They are going to say the state of California versus Mr. Husband, whatever his name is. So it's not something that you're going to get away with. And after that, they're going to put you into a 52-year domestic violence class. And if you're lucky, if you're not lucky, they will actually put you back on the plane and deport you because they really don't want to tolerate that kind of behavior. So if you know you like to do those kind of things, maybe this is not going to be a place for you to migrate, and maybe it's something that you want to consider, and maybe just stay in your home country and save all the money that you're going to spend in the process of trying to migrate. In assimilation, also child abuse. In Africa, a lot of people spank their kids. They beat them heavy. Here, if there's a mark left, if you spank your kid and there's a mark left, Child Protective Services is gonna take your kids away from you. And you know what? Also, if you're a nurse, let's say for example, or you work anywhere where children are involved, nobody will give you a job. Once they do the fingerprints, they'll find that you have a child abuse index. And with that index, it's going to be difficult to get jobs and to find jobs in places where there is no that. So what I want us to do, and I will continue with the other topics of what things that you must consider before spending all this money to migrate. That way, if you know you have a problem, you can either make changes, and if you can make those changes, you want to reconsider moving to the next level or spending the money to move to the next level. You may want to just keep your day job in your home country because some of those may be tolerated. My name is Judy, and president of Africa Trade Link, and thank you so much for subscribing to our group, and follow us on our journey on learning how and what it takes to migrate and how to migrate successfully. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.